That's dope.
What is up, everybody? It is June 16th, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here for your regularly scheduled program of me looking at a whole lot of charts for subscribers of the newsletter. But there's bigger news than what I'm doing right now, and that is obviously the Fed report should be dropping right now. You guys are going to have to tell me what it says, and then Jerome Powell's talking at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll vomit words from his mouth. People will analyze those words, which will be complete copy pasta and word salad and diarrhea of the vocal cords, and then apparently that will make global markets go absolutely nuts in one of two directions, even though we all can see the same data and know exactly what is happening. It's so absurd. It makes my brain hurt. Excuse me. And what's so ironic about the whole thing is that inflation is bad news, but the market will dump if they admit that there's inflation. But the market will continue to go up if they admit that the economy isn't strong and that they need to print more money and do more to make assets artificially rise. It is so broken. It is so stupid, but probably not worth digging into when I have so many charts that I need to look at. But before we do that, the amazing Cosmos community, your favorite coin, Atom, they are sponsoring this live stream, as well as my, excuse me, I got this cough thing going on, as well as my podcast. You got to check out everything that they're doing. As I've said before, almost every single guest I have in a podcast who understands anything about blockchain constantly brings up Cosmos. Now, interoperability is the future, how there will be multiple chains that will be running parallel. And we talk about Ethereum killers, but nothing will kill Ethereum. But all these other incredible blockchains will also have their place and have their role. And it will be Cosmos that makes them all interoperable. And they're building a million things like the Gravity DEX, which will be just like a Uniswap with an order book and access to every chain. Absolutely incredible. Check them out. Seriously, go do it. So it wasn't a burp. It wasn't a burp. It was like more of a cough thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Fed report said. I'm sure that everyone's freaking out and reacting already, but it appears that Bitcoin's going up a little bit at the moment. So as I mentioned, every Wednesday at 2 p.m., I take chart requests from paid subscribers to my newsletter. They fill out a form, and I look at them. And I have a feeling that we're going to want to barf every time we look at any chart that is a altcoin, because they have sucked many, many, many bananas over the past few weeks. As you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So here, let me go ahead. Share my screen. This is the newsletter. You can join it. There's a free version. Free version comes out tomorrow. Comes out every 2 weeks on Thursday. So that's coming out tomorrow. You can check it out for free. So just fill that out. If you want to join and make requests, you click on this member tab and you join. And that's as much as I'm going to sell. Bitcoin going up. Bitcoin going up. Bitcoin's going up right now. Bitcoin is going up, but you guys didn't request that. So I'm going to dive right into the requests, which means I will not be seeing. Oh, someone just said, change the title. Bitcoin is not dead. So dude, I have a YouTube guy, really aggressive with the title today. Really clickbaited that one. Not in love with it because crypto market's not dead. I don't believe it's dead. You know, I don't believe it's dead, but maybe it got some of you to click at it. I don't know. I could watch Powell speak. Well, he's speaking at 2:30, I think. But like, if he's dovish or if he's hawkish, like, do you understand the absurdity of global markets reacting to like the tone of this idiot's voice? Like, is anybody going to be fooled by anything he says to believe that quantitative easing and money printing is going to stop and that inflation is not an issue? And even if all of that was true and like something he said today, like in 2013, 2023, we might raise rates, or 2022, or in 7 quarters, why would that matter today? The market shouldn't react today and do something dramatic because of what might happen in a year. It's so fucking stupid. It is so stupid. I cannot do it. Okay, Bitcoin's kind of bouncy, whatever. 1 inch. Will not. I will somehow now fight my urge to aggressively make dick jokes about 1 inch, which is my calling card and the standard of every live stream. But this is 1 inch versus USDT. USDT is very unimpressed with 1 inch, as you can see. But we had this breakout, retest, although you wouldn't want to buy this breakout and retest and have to suffer all the way down to here. But if you bought the retest, really nice move. This is an old chart. All my charts are old charts. I don't update them before this. Clearly, we have a new range here, right? Which is like from here to here or something like this. Something like this. So that was also a nice bounce off the EQ of the range. Got to get above this range for any of this to matter. I'm not going to look at the MA there. This is a nice move, and that's real volume, which is encouraging 2 days ago. But again, this is Bitcoin going up, right? Like we're looking at USDT pairs. They're doing kind of whatever Bitcoin is doing, but probably a little less. So if Bitcoin dumps, is going to drop. It's just what's going to happen. I wouldn't call it a double bottom. That's too deep. And then, you know, this is coming into like, if you're a horizontally guy, this is clearly like resistance right here, right? So that's telling the story of what's happening right now. You want to get above this range, but understand that, and likely with most altcoins, there's just going to be a lot of resistance ahead right now. Same with Bitcoin. But like, yeah, you can draw this and say it's a breakout on strong volume. I like that. So it does not look bad. If you think Bitcoin's going to go up, this looks decent, but also Bitcoin will probably go up more. 1 inch, Ave, Bitcoins. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. There's a little dot right there. See it? Can you guys see that? There's a little dot left over from one of my drawings. What was the name of that kid? My name is Stuart Smiley. I like to do drawings. Anyone? Drawings? I like to do drawings. Why is that? Why am I not? That should be clicking right in my brain, but it's not today. Right, I would say this is like at support here, right? You can see that that was the top of this right here, kind of a key level. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't touch Ave on the Bitcoin pair unless it breaks through here because, you know, that could happen way down here. Something, you've got this major supply here. You got another kind of area of support here. Ultimately, you've got this kind of swing low here. So there's two ways to approach this. You get it here, right? Or it comes down here and you do the same thing. But that's kind of like what you want. Maybe you sweep these lows and then you head up. Those are the approaches that I would kind of take to this, but I wouldn't buy it now because it's like hanging at support and hasn't broken out through this resistance. For me, I like to play those descending resistance. Anchor USDT. Well, clearly this broke range like everything else in life, called an altcoin. This whole area is really big support, you would think. Oh, here you go. See this low here. I mean, you can't not look at this and see this sort of flat top here, right? I mean, all of these are in that area, but sure, let's draw it like there. See that? It's your support. 200 MA, if that's your thing, on the daily, right below it. And here, actually, you know what? The best way to draw this, we don't even need this range anymore. It died, which, you know, was a key indicator to go short. You got this. This is your demand, right? It's been tapped once, up top, slightly higher. So see what happens when it hits there. This should be really strong support, though, if you're trading this. And if you lose this support, there's nothing until like way down here. So if you get an entry in here, like around the 200, I mean, when's the last time the 200 broke? Never. May 16th, 2020 was the last time it was below, like for more than a day. So you got a lot of support in this area. Like if you're bidding it, bid here on the 200, whatever, and expect something like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Because if you lose that and start closing below it, I mean, you know, you don't have support till down here. So that looks pretty appealing. What's Bitcoin doing? Totally rejected. What a loser. Did the Fed just say Bitcoin's bad or something? Hey, this guy's been binging on my playlist. Thank you for saying I was a fire DJ. I'm not to be whatever, but I think in the style of what I did, the mashup thing, like in the way that I like my ADD brain worked, I think that, I had pretty solid mastery of my DJ skills and for what I did. There are much better DJs than me at certain things, but I think I definitely had my thing and was really, really, really good at it. And that's because I spent all of the moments of my life working on it. I had my 10,000 hours in DJing for sure. I'm trying to figure out what the hell this chart is doing, and God, no idea. Absolutely no idea. This is AR USDT, which is Arwe von Huobi. I read just now that Huobi is not allowing new customers to trade with margin. Gotta imagine that's a good thing for Binance and FTX. Yeah, I mean, this seems to be the line, but you can't really hard here to find key levels because of the nature of this chart. A lot of my DJ stuff is on my YouTube channel that you are watching right now because I had gotten kicked off SoundCloud there for a while. Yeah, I knew those rat-tat-tat-tat-tat dudes. I just moved a lot faster, I think, between songs than them. But yeah, they were dope. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. You got another key level down here if you get there, but that's what I was looking at. Something like here, you choose, something like that. That was a blow off top, right? Huge volume, biggest volume, and the candle gets rejected. That was the toppiest top of all tops you could possibly imagine. That's what a blow off top looks like. That's what people will think like a monthly candle on Bitcoin when it tops could look like, with volume 3 times any other month in history. Nothing to see here. This is maybe you draw support. This is also looks kind of bear flaggy, but it's a little long to be a bear flag in my opinion. But be conscious. By the way, bear flags that continue up are just coins going up. But yeah, that's bear flag for now. It's bear flag. Don't love it. Don't love it. BRPHF, BRPHF, aka Mike Novogratz and Galaxy Digital Holdings, super mega giga chads of epic proportions. I met Novogratz in Miami. I was backstage after he came off of his panel, and I went up to him and said, "What's up, Mike Novogratz?" He was wearing a purple or purple jacket with a print, and he had a straight up rapper chain with a lightning bolt and a huge wolf. I was like, bruh, let me get that wolf. So that's how I approached him. Bruh, let me get that wolf. And he laughed, and we talked about rap. We talked about A Boogie with the Hoodie and Little Yachty. That's what I talked to Mike Novogratz about for 5-10 minutes. It's a real moment. It was a real moment. Let's look at Burpafff though. Let's look at Galaxy. That dude's cool. But Novogratz, man. Just a chill, accessible billionaire. No big deal. Yet again, downtrending. Kind of a descending broadening wedge. So that descending broadening wedge is the statistically highest chance of breaking out in the proper direction and hitting its target. But there's a reason for that, right? So you go up, down, up, down, up. So you expect this, right? But if that doesn't happen and you come down here and you literally come all the way down here and then break out because of the nature of this, you could come way down on support. Literally price could drop 70% and you get to say descending broadening wedge worked because it held support. That's the problem with descending broadening wedges. High statistical chance of success, but what if it hits that descending broadening support before it goes up? Really hard to trade in my opinion, so you have to wait for the breakout. Have to wait for the breakout, which would be here. And yeah, so you're looking for one of these on Galaxy. Can't touch it for me until it does that, but that's what you're looking for. I lost my line. Better than my mind, which some would argue. I just saw a story on Twitter. Raoul Paul posted that he raised $35 million for Real Vision. So I asked him if he would be interested in a lovely timeshare investment in sunny Florida. He did not bite. I don't even have a timeshare to sell. I just thought it'd be really funny to ask him to invest in a timeshare. Yeah, this looks fine. I just would like to see it above here. Cool. Dude, somebody asked me for this bunny ETH. Literally, like if I turn on logarithmic, the chart disappears. If I try to turn on a template, the chart disappears. And this is what it looks like. So, dude, yeah, I can't chart this. Unless this is the rare missile silo pattern, also known as the grain silo. These are bearish candles, because there's probably one trade or two trades every hour, every 4 hours, which is why you're seeing this, but you can't chart that. That is trash. Bad Bunny WETH. WETH. Did this play out? No. Oh, kinda. This is Chili's USDT, not to be confused with Chili's baby back ribs barbecue sauce. Anyone of my generation will appreciate that reference. Chili's baby back rib, Chili's baby back rib, barbecue sauce. It was a commercial for Chili's. I don't even think that's relevant anymore. But you do have a breakout and a retest, but you have resistance right here. And the candle it's doing it on right now is kind of ugly. So you want to get above that. If you close above that, maybe you have a push back up to kind of this area. Barbecue sauce. That's right, Jeremy. Barbecue sauce. Now I'm lost in your comments. Lost in your comments when I'm supposed to be charting things. Let me go back to charting. Am I the only one who trades top 50? I don't know. I don't know what half of these coins are. I know what Chili's is, obviously. But I don't know what Bunny versus WETH is or why it'd be relevant. But hey, man, live your life. Yeah, I mean, this is tough. I would say that you have a very clear support here. So I would figure that if you're below the 200 MA in this line, that you're kind of invalid and invalid. But look, this did have nice volume coming up here, got rejected, but volume is increasing again on this move. So you just want to see a bigger push over the next 5 hours and 41 minutes and 30 seconds. DOC USDT. Sorry, I just have to, Bitcoin squarely rejected again. What a dummy. Man, Bitcoin will test your patience and make you feel like a not smart person often. Wow, this looks kind of good. Look at the volume. That's meaningful volume for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days and increasing after the breakout. That looks good. Above all the relevant MAs, but right now you wanted to catch it where it was breaking out because right now you are at a resistance, right? This whole area through here, it's going to be a lot of resistance. So if you're trading this, you want to buy it either higher up here or something like that. Really simple. Maybe the 50 MA comes over and you catch it, but you buying this into this strong resistance, like, right? You have all this price action. So clearly this is where we chopped around. And then a strong exit down, that leaves a lot of orders and interest and people who maybe like are just waiting for their excuse to get out at that point because they didn't get their chance before. Like, yeah, I'll sell it. It's going to go right up here and I'll sell it. And then it doesn't get there. And so they move their orders and whatever. That's my general view on DOC. This is a stonk. EGHT 8x8 Incorporated rejected here at the 200 MA. Impending death cross. You know that I don't really care about that. That's because of this. But I mean, did this coin like, I don't know. Did it like shoot a police officer or something? I mean, what did it do to deserve this? It's not a coin, it's a stock, but this is a savage. You know nothing about this company, but that's bad. You would expect it to at least fill this gap here. So maybe come up to 28 bucks at some point, but it's also a gap to fill all the way down to 22. So maybe it's doing that, but this is terrible looking. This is a terrible looking chart. Don't even know what to look at this. Don't even know how to look at this. Federal Reserve announces the extension of its temporary US dollar liquidity swap lines with 9 central banks through December 31st, 2021. So they're saying, in a shocking development, print more money. Shocker. Like, and it's not even like whether they're going to print. It's just like, how much are they going to print and how much are they going to admit it, right? Let's look at the weekly on this. Maybe get a little bit more insight. Oh, yeah, there's your insight. Bang, rejected. But it is sitting on the 50 MA on the weekly. It did have that cross. See, there's an example of golden cross, right? If you were trading, everyone's talking about the death cross on Bitcoin. If you were trading a golden cross, it happened here. It was after the move. You got dumped on. That's a perfect example of why they're stupid. I wouldn't touch this. I don't know. Maybe if it's above 26.67 closing candles, but that's a hideous chart. These are EMAs, not MAs on this chart. That's what I like. EMAs better, but I'm going to put on MAs because they're what other people look at. Nobody talks about EMAs anymore. Exponential moving averages make a lot more sense because they're exponentially weighted towards recent price action. But the only reason that lines on a chart matter is because that's where humans are looking to do things like place orders. So we look at them. All of these charts kind of the same, right? Broadening descending wedge. Again, you can see something like this. Could have said here, but here. So like I said, if it comes down here, is that still a great wedge? No. So, once again, looking for a break of this line. 0, not much volume, not much interest in engine coin at the moment. Cooling off with the NFT space, I suppose. Not much to see here. Sorry, I would love to give great, amazing trades and clear patterns on altcoins. They just don't exist right now. If that breaks, have at it. Bitcoin, you little dummy. EOS Bitcoin, real disappointing. Looked like a moment there for EOS, and then altcoins start to get pooped on. Yeah, I mean that 1, 2, 3. That was a pretty confirmed resistance. Nice break on huge volume, and then everything dumped. That's a weekly chart too. Hurts. That hurts. Let's look at the 4-hour. Maybe we'll gain some valuable insight into what's happening. I mean, that's a hideous chart, guys. I don't even know how you trade these things. I mean, daily. Savage. Below support. Yeah. I don't know. I would say you can take a shot at it if you want to around here, 0.000146. Maybe it sweeps those lows and heads back up. But this has failed. This was a setup I was pretty excited about, actually. We could still break and go, but pretty ugly. And no volume this week. This is half the week right down here. I mean, this is going to be historically low volume if it doesn't pick up. So I think EOS BTC is highly avoidable. This charts are just terrible because all of these, like, honestly, if you look at these honestly, it doesn't even matter. You could draw, I mean, the real place you would draw it is here, and you would have said it broke the range, but let's call it here. That's not terrible because at least this hasn't broken the range if you call it there. So if it holds, it's not terrible. If it holds this range, you would expect at least a trip to the EQ. That's it. I talk about the EQ all the time. If you don't know what that is, this dashed line is the 50% of a channel. It's called the equilibrium, EQ. And when you pull a range or a channel, you tend to see a lot of price action around it. Support, 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 support. Look at the resistance. 2 candles, perfect. See? So that's good range. These are deviations. Those are that's a bullish SFP. And as you can see, like we're talking about here, this is not technically a bullish SFP because those candles closed and opened below. But see, look, this swept the lows. So your target becomes the center, the EQ. And look, those 2 candles in a row hit it exactly. So you're looking for something similar now, a move to the EQ, assuming this holds. If not, here's your next support. If that breaks down here, I'd be looking on HBAR USDT for a move to 0.29 if nothing horrendous happens to Bitcoin. Litecoin, Bitcoin. Yeah, I was going to share this as a setup, but I just have not had the heart to share altcoin setups because I don't want people to get wrecked. But the 4-hour here is showing some promise with a little hammer candle. I would say if it breaks this, you're starting to look good. Like that would be a nice little breakout. Although, listen, you can draw these lines. I mean, if you want to pull it out on the daily, yeah, I don't know. I still like that. I mean, these are bad charts. Nothing looks good. No, I'm not dumping anything, but like, there's no reason to be trading right now, unless you're just need to trade. Like you gotta get your money in there, man. I was going to go to bed, but like I was in Vegas, it was 3 a.m. and I was walking past the craps table and I only had $200 left. So I figured I would broke. That's when you don't have the patience to sit on your hands, Yeah, VJ Boy Potty's new thing is amazing. Watching Feds. Fed Chair Powell explains how a Fed-driven surge in cost of living is helping the poor. Okay, yeah, I'm not getting much insight on the Fed from you guys here. Not getting. If you're streaming live, don't ignore the chat. I don't ignore the chat. It's just, I mean, you can't do a chart and chat at the same time. So on my Wednesdays, I tend to look at the charts more. Is there any reason why we chart other coins when Bitcoin is the only one that can make or break the TA on all of those? Well, yeah, because when it's the right moment, they do exceptionally well against Bitcoin, and you can compound Bitcoin. So it matters what their individual charts look like because you got to choose the right ones. Scott, is that a wig? This? No, this is balding. If I was going to wear a wig, I would not have a hairline this far back. This would be the dumbest wig in history. This is a receding hairline of a mid-40-something man person. Litecoin, you can buy it if it breaks that line. That's what I'd say. Luna, USDT, you are next to be charted by me. These charts are so bad. So bad. Here's your support. If that breaks, you got kind of a thing. But look, you do have, this does now appear to be an ascending triangle. So there's 2 ways to trade it. The safe way is this. You buy it when it breaks above here. That would also be above the 200. The other way is to take a risk on support and hope that it goes up. But that's not a bad trade because if it breaks support, you have a really tight stop and lose very little. Remember, the key to a good trade is having a plan and knowing exactly how much you're going to lose, because you're probably going to lose. So you plan a trade to be as close to your invalidation as possible. So ascending support, you have an ascending support. Buying ascending support gives you a really, really nice tight invalidation, and your stop loss can move up as price holds that support. So those are trades that a lot of people like. Even if you think it's going to break through, your risk reward, just like you would put all your money in on a poker hand that you think has a 30% chance of winning if you can win 7 times your money. It's just good pot odds, even if you think you're going to lose. Trading is about knowing how much you're going to lose when you're wrong and making that number be as small as possible. So yeah, Luna, I would say this is your key support, but you want to be above 795 for the safest entry. So either a bounce on support or a break and retest of that. Matic, I shared this yesterday. Nothing to see yet. We've got a symmetrical triangle. I actually did a whole video on it. If you think it's a bull pennant, that's your target. If you think that's just a agnostic symmetrical triangle, this is your target from wherever it breaks out. I'm not saying it will. Could go down, but if it breaks out, and some people do a symmetrical triangle target by pulling a parallel line to this, but this is in a triangle that has not played out. So for now, nothing to do. Alt ETH, one ledger Ethereum on KuCoin. I mean, I haven't looked at that many KuCoin charts, but they almost have always all looked like this. I'm not saying that KuCoin dumps coins of their own new listings on the community, but I'm saying that it looks like they do that. I am saying that it looks that way. But this is a terrible chart, obviously. Good luck finding the bottom. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's in the bottom's end, but you won't know. But you have to see some reversal sign. So maybe you break that line. And this is your support. Levels that sort of matter. A lot of price action around that. You got those there. Then, you have these really clear swing highs. So kind of easy. But like, I don't see any reason to buy something that's only gone down ever and has literally no volume. Like maybe 7 people are trading this. The same 7 people who would buy a Tesla with Bitcoin are trading one ledger versus Ethereum on KuCoin right now. Nothing to see here. Wait till it breaks that line. Coming back to the chat because you can't live stream without talking to everybody all the time. Block this clown. I don't know what clown. The one who keeps saying Gitcoin. Yeah, I'll just put him in timeout. He's in timeout. Helpful Fed update continued. Interest rates expected to rise in 2023. Expected increases are 0.6% in 2023 and again in 2024. So now the market is going to react on what is maybe going to happen next year. Is that what we're talking about? Let's see what the Dow Jones is doing. Yeah, it's dumping. It's dumping. Powell just started talking like 1 minute ago. What are we doing here? Bitcoin, right back to kind of where it was. Not dumping as hard as stonks. I mean, it's pretty bad hour from 130, 130 to 230. So stupid. So stupid. And then like in the next meeting, they'll be like, yeah, we decided not to do that. But it's amazing. Saying that you're going to raise rates is admitting that, maybe we should get inflation under control. And saying that you can't raise rates is saying the economy is weak, right? We can't raise rates because there's not enough jobs. The economy is still weak. That would make stocks go up. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Okay, quant looks good. Breakout, big move. So if you can get it now, even though it kind of had it already, you want a retest of this range high. That's a good looking chart right there. Young folks. Wow, this is a new all-time high. Quant is going somehow in the midst of all of this coin is going into price discovery. So actually this or this, if you close above, then you want to take this. But that's beautiful breakout retest. This looks great. I don't know what will happen in the context of, the market looking crappy. But I would say if you close the daily above that line, if it doesn't, that's a bearish SFP potentially. So you want to close above 0.00165832 on the daily, even ideally on the weekly. Otherwise, and it's on strong volume, it's going today. Otherwise, buy the dip. Price discovery. Beautiful. Ren, BTC, nothing to see here. Just nothing. Nothing. Just hanging out down here looking like doo-doo crap. Wow, the Dow shedding early gains from the early session. I mean, what is Jerome Powell saying? You guys got more updates over here? No, nothing. Oh, the USD is strong. Maybe not. Okay, let's keep going. Ren, guy, there's just nothing to see here. I would love to give an update. I like Ren. Maybe you say that would get you excited. Trashy chart. Look for another bounce from that if it comes down. TRX, USDT. Yeah, just getting slaughtered in this area. Got to get back above that. For now, holding that. I mean, these charts just look bad, guys. I'm still holding some TRX. No problems there because the Bitcoin pair looked good for a while there. It's about at my entry, I think. You have sort of this bear pennant vibe going on here, right? So if it breaks support, you're out. If it breaks the resistance, you're in. Sushi, I mean, my God, these charts. Here you go. I mean, objectively, I'd put it there, but whatever. Let's erase that. 4 hour. Sushi, it's what's for dinner. These charts are so bad. The pumps and the dumps and then the in-between. I mean, it's going to take a while for these charts to reset and start to show us anything worth looking at, honestly. But yeah, sushi, that's your story. Right? 1, 2, 3 touches almost here. That's a little spinning top. Seeing the same on Bitcoin, actually, not surprisingly, and then a move down. Look at Bitcoin's daily. Right? Spinning top, move. This is pretty bad on Bitcoin if it closes like this for the day, because that sort of like could be a reversal as a spinning top, and then you're getting a bearish engulfing. It was fun while it lasted for the moment there. Thank you, Jerome Powell. Thank you. But like I said a number of times, Bitcoin might react for like a day to news like this with the rest of the markets, and then it becomes uncorrelated again, and it's great. Sushi, I would say a break of that. You can start considering a trade on it, but for now, squarely ignore it. I don't know. Something like this. Terrible. XLM. Boop. Totally broke support and has continued down accordingly. I mean, that's a fine line, I guess. The charts are broken. Charts are broken. Yeah. Imagine trading today. Something I want to look up. I'm going to read you guys something because Business Insider reached out to me today, like an hour ago, and said, "Can we get a quote on what people should do, what crypto traders should do after the Fed report?" I'm going to read you my answer that I gave them right now. Simply stated, crypto investors should do absolutely nothing following the Fed report. While Bitcoin occasionally reacts short-term to global market news, it is historically uncorrelated to other markets and offers idiosyncratic risk in an investor's portfolio. It is the best performing asset by many multiples over the past decade. In the words of the Fed chairman, should do nothing to change this in the future. Further, everyone knows that the Fed and central banks will continue to endlessly print money and prop the economy. The question is at what velocity they will do so. Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation, which is a real and unstoppable force in the current market. The entire Fed charade is absurd. The entire world is watching with bated breath, hanging on every word spoken by a single man in a single country, analyzing his tone and what it may possibly mean. Markets should not be so fragile that they are moved dramatically by a speech or report, and the mention of a change in interest rate policy months or years down the road should not influence an investor's financial decisions today. The irony should not be lost. Markets will react favorably to more quantitative easing and stimulus because it artificially buoys a manipulated market, and asset prices will drop at the mere admission by the Fed that inflation is an issue. This cognitive dissonance is a telltale sign of a broken market. We have completely lost the plot, which makes the case for Bitcoin stronger. That was my thoughts for Business Insider. And it's funny that they would ask, what should crypto investors do after the Fed meeting? You do nothing. You're an investor. Investors don't react to something that happens on one given day. They could have said, what will leverage Bitcoin traders do? Right? That'd be a good question. That would be a good question. But like, come on, man. Investor, you just invest and chill. That's what you do. You invest and you chill. Apparently that might have come out in Business Insider already. I think I just got an email. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We just heard back from Business Insider who shared that your insight will suffice. Cool. XLM looks like doo-doo. But yeah, that's what I said to the press. I said, your market is shitty. Come over to ours. And don't panic like a sissy. Don't be a sissy, because Bitcoin is not for sissies. It's for people with diamond hands who have a little bit of patience and believe that it will matter a few years down the road. Guys, these are just trash charts. And I've been saying that every week, and everything keeps going down. And I listen, like, people unsubscribe. Like, I thought the newsletter and what I do is primarily about news and insight, but there's a lot of people who like come for the trades and they're unsubscribing and telling me, listen, I love you, but you got no trades. And I'm like, I can't make the market tradable. And I get it. Totally get it. But like, you don't trade just because you feel like you need to trade. Like, my hands are going to fall off. They're getting so numb from sitting on them for the last few weeks. And this is a key area right here. Nothing to do on XLM here. Nothing to do. Just got a phone call. Just got a phone call. See, guys, look. Golden cross right at the top. Golden crosses are stupid. Death crosses are stupider. My favorite planet's Uranus. You probably like Jupiter. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. Every once in a while, something comes out and I show it. Maybe if this breaks, but this looks like crap. And this was doing pretty good. Like, I had drawn this thingy and it was holding this support, and that was great, but it is trying to hold the 200, which it has held since it broke. So this could be a decent entry, but I would wait for a break of that on YFI. If you're looking at the daily, it's holding the daily 200, probably below it on the 4. But this is it's nice support. It's held since it broke to the upside. But I would wait till a break of this line. That looks better than most. ZIL USDT breaking support. Oh, woe is me. I don't know, man. Like, do you want to trade any of this? Like, do you look at this and you're like, God, man, got to get these altcoins. Future of finance. I love altcoins. I'm not like dying to sell anything, but God, if you're an investor and you're like in love with one of these projects and you're like, this is going to be huge in 10 years, dude, have at it and buy your face off. But like, if you're trading, good luck, man. Again, listen, if you want to, you can just go like that and be like, it's fine. It's fine. But to me, this is a breakdown and retest, right? I don't even know I had it there. Okay, sure. Also a breakdown retest. If it breaks this, then follow this line up. Who cares? But there's no reason to be trading this. No reason. Another potential bear flag kind of vibe. Just dumb. ZEC USDT just lost the 200 MA on the daily. I never looked at MAs. Everybody's looking at them lately. I started looking at them. I don't know. It's weird. And you know why I'll look at them? Because who cares, man? Chart however you want to chart. Just manage your risk. Set your stop loss and don't have too big of a position and you're fine. So easy. Right. Look at that. There you go. Kind of a bear pennant. All these charts look like shit. Bitcoin doesn't look great. Maybe a bounce off the 50 here. Square rejection at the 200 MA there on the 4 hour, but more importantly, squarely rejected at this blue supply. But the good news is, theoretically, this area should now be cleared of orders. So if we get back through there, that should be able to pass through with relative ease. It's all the charts. That is all of the charts. I'm not going to change the newsletter. I would never change the newsletter, and I would never like push trades when they're bad. Like if I would not even touch the market, and sometimes I'll put something, I'll be like, guys, technically this chart looks fine, but I wouldn't do it, you know? And so, you know, that's, yeah. Scott, what is the update on your Tesla? I think I told you guys, I ordered a Tesla in January. It was supposed to come in March. Then in March, they said April. Then they removed the date altogether. Then we got a call at the end of May that said, we're not delivering any Model X's basically this year. You can get it in the fourth quarter, probably December. If that's okay. Also, it's going to be $10,000 more. So that's the update. As I said, for now, sure, we'll see. And I should maybe get it 11 months after I ordered it for $10,000 more than I ordered it for. Where can I find the copy? That was just an email that I sent them. It hasn't been printed yet, but I will let you know if it gets quoted. But that's what I said. That's what I said. It was a thing I just read. Laser Eyes is a project dedicated to protect us against rugs. Ownership. Oh, wait, this is some scammy shit. I thought we were actually talking about Laser Eyes. That actually makes me want to get your newsletter. Yeah, guys, the newsletter, I can't stress this enough. It's not about like, I know that they're there and people love the charts and I chart Bitcoin every single day. I swear to God, I dream in Bitcoin charts, but like, I don't share signals. Like anyone who knows it's never like buy here. I'm always looking at a chart and saying like, if this happens, this is what I would do. I want it to be educational. And I'm not saying the way I approach charts is even right for you. I just want you to look at it and say, maybe I get an idea. Maybe I like that coin. Maybe I'll approach another coin in the same way. It's supposed to be educational. It's supposed to teach you how I'm looking at setups. But like you guys maybe have your own way that really works, you know, really works. If they don't use it, I will tweet the blurb for sure. Do you see the market being up by the end of the year or relatively the same or down? I think it'll be up massively by the end of the year. That's like 6 months away. 6 months away. Yeah. Bro, it's like 50 cents a day. 50 cents a day. I did Matic. But yeah, I think that I think the market's going to be up. I have no idea, but like this, I think this is all temporary, you know? Jitters. A little bit of jitters. A little jittery. Anybody did is Powell talking right now? Did you guys see anything? See, I learned so much from the newsletter. That's what I'm going for. This guy would do it even if I just posted selfies. I'll post selfies for free. Wow, there's all kinds of scammer. Now I'm just blocking people in the chat who are trying to scam you guys. My God. Thoughts on Toy Story 1? It's the best Toy Story, and it's an incredible movie. My whole family dressed as Toy Story for Halloween a couple of years ago because my daughter was in love with the movie at the time, and I was Woody, and people used to call me Woody because they thought that I looked like, not like Tom Hanks, but like Tom Hanks as a cartoon cowboy. Will ETH flip Bitcoin? I don't think so. I don't think it matters, but like I am more generally bullish on ETH than Bitcoin as a trade. I think Bitcoin's a more important asset, but I generally think Ethereum has more upside. Toy Story 2 is probably the second best Toy Story. Actually, that's the one we dressed up as because my daughter was Jessie, and Jessie's not in Toy Story 1, correct? Pete Rock for Alchemist or Pete Rock. I have a great Alchemist story for those who are into rap. I've told this story before. So I was in Japan on tour in 2006, and my really good friend, Dawn, was a tour manager for Gnarls Barkley, who were brand new at the time. They're like a few months old. Crazy had just dropped while I was on tour. They came to Japan. I bumped into her in the street. We're friends from the United States. In the street in Shibuya. And she was like, what are you guys doing tonight? We have nothing to do. She was with Danger Mouse. And I was like, we're going to this club called Harlem in Shibuya in Tokyo. You guys come. Like, I know the people, whatever. So I hooked it up, rolled up to this club with Danger Mouse, CeeLo, Gnarls Barkley, Alchemist, who was traveling with them, Dawn, a couple of their friends, and two of my friends who were visiting from out of town, one of which was wearing a Yankees jersey. And people often told him he looks like Derek Jeter's brother. He's mixed. My friend's like 6'4", whatever. So we're like drinking and we're partying at the club. We got this table, like the whole private area upside, and we're hanging out. And I look over and there's this like really awkward conversation going on between my friend and Alchemist. And so I go over to sit down, listen in, and they're talking. And my friend goes, yeah, dude, I'm Derek Jeter's brother. And Alchemist goes, really? I didn't know Derek had a brother, but I know his sister. What's her name? And my friend goes, literally just in shame. For some reason, he decided to lie about being Derek Jeter's brother to the one person in all of Japan at that moment who would have known that it was a lie. It was a real moment. I make fun of my friend still to this day. We talk about it all the time. But he told the Alchemist who knew Derek Jeter that he was Derek Jeter's brother. He could have said that to anyone in Japan on that day, and he said it to him. I don't do ice stick games. What content in your newsletter can day traders benefit from? I don't know. I'd like to think all of it. I mean, and that's whatever. I think that I share setups. They're mostly swing trades and not day trades. But I really like to talk a lot about market psychology, emotion. Basically, I just share all the shit I was bad at before and had to learn. So I think that there's a lot in there. I haven't seen the Fed inflation news, so I don't have thoughts on it yet. Do you think there will ever be a time where there are no jobs a human can do better, cheaper than tech? If so, do you think people will make money? I don't think there'll be a time when that is the case, but I think that most jobs will be replaced by technology. Certainly if it's like a blue collar job or, manufacturing lines, things like that. But I don't think that that technology will become more creative than humans. And the answer there is, if you've ever read The Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth, who I'm having on my podcast again, one of my favorite books, is that in a perfect world, the problem is getting there. But in a perfect world, deflation is actually an ideal situation because technology is inherently deflationary. And even though that causes people to lose their jobs, that technology makes the cost of goods and services so cheap that people shouldn't theoretically need jobs to pay for the things that they need. But the problem is it requires a depression to get there. 2008 was probably the best chance that the United States had, or the world, I should say, to let that happen. But no politician, and I'm not saying they should have because it would have been brutal, but no politician is going to be like, hey, let's do the depression thing because it'll be better in 10 years. Right? And so it's, politics was never meant to be a career. It's supposed to be a public service. But when politics became a job that you tried to keep forever, you're never going to do the thing that causes pain to your constituents because you won't get elected. But if they had not bailed out the banks and they had not bailed out everyone and done the whole too big to fail thing, I'm not saying it was a hard decision, but that was the day that they said printing forever, inflation forever, and that's the path that we're going to go on. Right. And so deflation would have been the path to this kind of, as he says, abundant future where you wouldn't have to work. People would be entrepreneurs. They would literally work a few hours a week and things would be so cheap that it wouldn't even matter. and that's what would happen in that job, in that situation. So it's a really interesting debate. Oh, you love that book. There you go. It's an amazing book. I just listened to it again recently. Like when I drive, I listen to nonfiction. So I listened to that recently, Sapiens. Yeah. Yeah, Iceland did. It worked out well for them, but it took a while. That's the problem, is like you have to suffer through all the pain of getting there for it to actually work. And they had their chance, and now it's over. Powell is really good at pairing press Q&A. I'm sure Powell knows exactly what he's going to say. He has it completely planned, and one wrong word sends the markets in a certain direction. So he's not going to ever answer questions, in that manner. Is anybody watching it? Have you guys seen what they're saying? Because I have no idea. In fact, I'm probably going to sign up. Okay, here we go. Powell also stated that the massive CPI increases of the past year are transitory as economies reopen. If production increases, the economy reopens. How could CPI increase? Dude, inflation is not transitory. That's a catchphrase. Transitory means sort of like temporary, and that it's situational and that it will resolve itself. That's not the case, right? Cost of goods is not going to drop, right? Now, it could be transitory and the cost of goods, inflation could stop and the cost of goods could stay the same. It'll go down, certain goods will go down. I'm just saying in general, like a business is not going to inherently charge less for their products unless inflation completely stops. But here's the example, right? Talking about deflation, the whole idea that I just talked about is like, look at the price of a computer or TVs 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. Technology inherently brings down the prices of consumer goods. Right? I mean, TV, you can buy a really nice TV for like $300 now. Huge. And that's what should happen. That's the natural way of things with technology. But, we define success of markets and economies by growth. And that growth is defined by the growth of jobs, which means more jobs. But when you're fighting a force like technology, that means you have to create fake jobs out of thin air that won't last. So there's no way that it's transitory. There's no way it's transitory, especially if they don't raise rates. And if it makes no sense, think about it logically, right? I said this before, but like if you have inflation, you raise interest rates to combat inflation, but they're saying that the economy is not strong enough yet to do that. So they're going to keep rates low. And then somehow stocks should go up because of those low rates. So the economy, you're saying the economy is weak. We need to keep rates low, and that pumps stocks up in a weak economy. It makes absolutely no sense. Okay, Scott, you're ignoring and you're too humble to take the compliment on stream. So now I'm going to compliment your music, but show you on the stream great music, Scott. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm definitely a better DJ than trader. No question about that. I spent a lot more time on it. Got about 3 more minutes if you guys have any more amazing questions or thoughts. Whoa, my face is big. It's a big face. Oh, Bitcoin's bouncing a little bit here. Okay, whatever's happening, it's not dramatic, and that was a very small reaction thus far. But like I said, dude, what should crypto traders do after the Fed announcement? Investors, you do nothing. You invest. Call me in 10 years and we'll see where inflation is, and I'll make a decision about my Bitcoin and my crypto, right? Big Smoke is a great name, so thank you. Thank you, right? You react down the road, not now. Yeah, thank you for throwing in the Fed info because I'm not getting any of it. That's right. Dollar cost average, guys. Take all the thinking out of it. Trading is fun. It's great. You should do it with a small amount of your capital. The rest of it, you should be investing and not trying to time the market because you ain't smarter than the market. I am not RJD2, but he did live in Philly for a while I was around. So I met him a couple times. He's dope. Where do you see this economy honestly going? I'm an engineer and material costs are stupid. Yeah, honestly, like that's the question. Where do I see stocks going or where do I see the economy going? Because the economy is obviously trash. But if stocks only go up, it's a smokescreen for that shitty economy. But, so I really think that the economy is screwed. But the problem is timing that, like we've been saying that for 5 years, right? So timing that is basically impossible. How much did you invest in what? Rap podcast coming soon. Newsletter tomorrow is free. Just go sign up to the free one. You'll get it. It's exactly the same as the other one. It just comes out less frequently. Can't get cement. This guy keeps asking this question. Can't get cement in Washington. Yeah, and you can't get microchips for cars, and you can't get lumber anywhere, you know? It's just really, really impossible. How'd you go from DJ to trader? You know, I was always kind of trading, but really badly. And then I had kids. I stopped DJing at the same time. I got super into crypto, and I started taking trading much more seriously. And I timed it right. I was lucky. I'm not going to lie. Anyone who threw any money into crypto at that moment in late 2016, early 2017 made all this quick money. And so I was able to become a trader because whatever. How much did you invest in Bitcoin? I've invested a lot. I've invested a lot. I did actually, and I want to mention this. I did an amazing podcast today. It'll come out. I shouldn't be talking about it, but if you guys go to charitywater.com/Bitcoin, it's a clean water initiative. They announced it in Miami. They're doing a Bitcoin trust. If you believe in clean water and it's something you're passionate about, you can donate Bitcoin, and they're committed to hold it. Because usually when a charity gets a donation, they immediately convert it and then they spend it obviously for more water, but they believe that Bitcoin will appreciate in price, and that down the road when they cash it in after the next halving, which was the price after another, the idea after another full cycle. I have a whole podcast coming out about this. After a full cycle, that it will be much higher. So myself and a bunch of other people, I heard this speech in Miami, and I was like, this guy's amazing. He's going to be on my podcast, Scott Harrison. And they said, you know, the first 50 people who donate 1 Bitcoin, the Winklevi will match it, and you'll be founders of the trust. And I donated on the spot like 1 Bitcoin to this thing, and I hope it's worth $1 million in 5 years. But I'm going to start talking about this a lot. I really believe in the Clean Water Initiative, and something that very, very passionate about. But if you guys check that out, it's definitely worth donating to that. What about Doge? I don't know. I really don't know. Doge, the top was Saturday Night Live. That was also Elon Musk's top. I said that was the top. It was so clearly a top. I can't even think about what to do after that. Am I still bullish? Yes, with a caveat. And I said this on a stream yesterday with Kyle Chassé, I think. I hate the terms bullish and bearish, because you can be bullish on one time frame and bearish on another, so they're very misleading. If you zoom out, if you say, hey, do you think that Bitcoin will be trading significantly higher in 10 years than now? Yes, that makes me bullish, right? Does that mean if I was trading the 4-hour chart that I'd be bullish right now? No, right? So bullish and bearish, the terminology has to be taken on a time frame or in context. So yes, I'm always bullish in that regard. The clean water. I mean, 1 in 10 people in the world. I've heard it much higher, but he quoted it 1 in 10. Over 700 million people don't have access to clean water, and it's the single driver of like disease, lack of education, and things in all of these places, which you don't realize. Because, as he said in the podcast, which I found so compelling, like there's parts of the world where girls are taken out of school when they're old enough to carry water, and that on average in a lot of these places, they walk 7 hours a day, 7 days a week to collect dirty water that makes them sick. Absolutely, absolutely horrifying, and so solvable. One of the few things that can be solved with money, right? Oh, look, I used to work for Charity Water. Scott's got an amazing story and incredible organization. Thanks for giving them love on your podcast. Yeah, Scott actually and we realized this today when we were recording the podcast. We've talked a million times. He started as a club promoter in New York City at the same time that I was a DJ in New York City. And we realized we know all the same people, and like we're in the same clubs all the time doing the same thing. See, my mom used to do that when she was young. That's reality for 700 million people. If someone owns 1 Bitcoin, what's the best way to earn interest? I mean, there's a million platforms where you can earn interest on Bitcoin. I just would say that, you have to understand that there's counterparty risk. If someone's giving you interest, that means they're loaning your money. I'm not saying that's bad. Just saying understand that then you're at risk, not your keys, not your coins, and also of counterparty risk of them blowing up their account. getting liquidated or something. Now, I hold quite a bit of my coins, a lot of USDC on Voyager, a little bit on BlockFi, some on Nexo, some on Celsius, just to spread it around to gain interest. But the majority of my Bitcoin will always be in cold storage. And multi-sig, I cannot get access to my own Bitcoin without super, super aggressive issues having to get there. So one last time, Daisy platform, never heard of it. Never heard of it once in my entire life. I think that both Solana and Matic are awesome. Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it. I'm done. 3:05. Got things to do. Guys, appreciate you coming out. Check out the newsletter, free tomorrow again. Okay. Sign up. Free. F-R-E-E. Free. That's a good price. Free is a really good price. So until next time, until tomorrow, peace.
Let's go.